Dude, my Joker is so good, bro. It's totally gonna win Evo.
Maybe, but not half as good as my Sheik, bro. Look at these fundies and cross-ups.
See you at the top, bro.
Hey guys, what's up? Can I tag along to the next major?
No, bro. You're shit. You're like 09 in my Joker and 016 in my Sheik buddy over here.
Okay.
Major and regional play are fundamentally very different, with majors demanding a very different type of skill set than playing at a local. Majors will naturally be the highest form of competition because it's every region squaring up against each other in one central location. This weeds out the least useful skills and values the universally most useful skills. The truth of the matter, or the hardest pill to swallow, is that almost every set you play in a major is against a new opponent until you become a top player. Being a top player means your skills are strong enough to usually blow through the early rounds until you get into that sweet top 8, where you get to play against your best friend Riddles to get into winners finals. This is very contradictory to many players' methods of improvement because they might put everything into getting better, they might even sell their soul, and when they become the best in their region, they still can't perform well at majors. I'm going to compare this concept to a bunch of ponds. Majors are obviously the biggest pond, giving it the biggest fish. Regions are much smaller with much less competition, so the fish in the regional pond are going to be much smaller by virtue. The laws of competition mean you have to abide by certain rules to keep up with the biggest fish, and in a big pond, that would mean eating the most food and being the biggest, strongest fish. In Smash, this food equates to information and practice. It's really hard to grow and be a huge fish when all the other fish in your pond are way smaller than you. And in Smash, the road to improvement is extremely convoluted and strange, so learning to beat all the fish in your pond might not be preparing you for the big fish in the major pond. You also have to keep in mind that a player in your region might demand that you learn a really niche skill really well. Maybe you have that one-trick PR player in your region that is insanely good at one gimmick, equating to the toothpick fish. Google it if you want to stay on track. Defeating the toothpick fish might be done by just plugging up, not by being a bigger fish, which is what you actually need to do to contest with the major fish. Regions often have incredibly good adaptive players, since they can adapt to the top 10 on their PR and squash the little dudes, but the top 10 PGR players are adapting to each other with a much better skill set.
Oh, jigs, that means I'll never be a top player. What do I do?
My answer is to go to majors. You gotta scrap with the biggest fish to be the biggest fish. If you can't do majors, which you can't all the time because they're majors, make sure most of your effort is going into something of substance that isn't specifically beating one gimmick. Put a much bigger emphasis into the universal options and understandings than the singular stuff, like waiting for the Ganon up air before your edge guard. This is because the singular stuff is learned really fast and doesn't need much depth. A more complex thing would be learning to autopilot between a dashback, a roll, or holding shield when uncomfortable in a certain type of scramble situation. This will apply in many more places than a specific piece of counterplay. Also, play with top players. That'll help you catch up. Thanks for watching. Now here's some delectable Smash gameplay.